Hi, I'm Alex from Wilkinson Cameras, and today we're talking 10 tips for better sports photography. I've been using the Nikon Z9 and Z8 to take these pictures, but you don't need a top of the range camera like this to try your hand at sports photography. You just need to consider the settings you're using and the subject you're shooting. Of course, the features in most modern mirrorless cameras are going to make getting great action shots a lot easier, but getting your settings right is still key. So 1. Use a fast shutter speed. Most sports involve fast moving subjects, which means you need to freeze the action by using a faster shutter speed. Set your camera up to shutter priority mode or manual and select a shutter speed of at least 1/500th of a second or faster to capture crisp images. Lots of cameras have really great stabilisation now, so you can actually use lower shutter speeds in some cases than you may have been able to do in the past. I'm actually shooting around 1,000th today as I'm using some nice fast aperture lenses, and I really want to make sure that the athletes are sharp. These heavy cameras and lens combos mean that I also can't hold it as steady even with IBIS. Number 2, autofocus settings. Use continuous AF, that's AFC for most brands, or AI servo in Canon, and take advantage of your camera's advanced AF settings. If your camera has dedicated subject detection, then make sure you select the appropriate subject for this, as it's going to help the camera focus on the right subject. I've got mine to set to humans today rather than vehicles, as I want to make sure that the athlete's eyes are sharp and are the main focus. But I could have chosen vehicles, which in this camera would detect bikes. If you don't have such fancy focus options, then pre-focus where you know the subject will come into frame to help speed things up and hit your target. Number 3, burst mode. Use continuous shooting modes to maximise your chance of getting a sharp image and capturing the right moment. Older DSLRs will shoot maybe 6 or 7 frames a second, with some mirrorless cameras going up to 20 or even 40 frames per second thanks to electronic shutters and new sensor technology. There's a lot of photos to sift through if you are shooting in these high frame rates, but you are maximising your chance of getting the perfect shot. You still need to ensure that your shutter speed and autofocus modes are correct though, or you'll end up with a whole load of blurry photos. Next is lens choice. Lens choice is key for sports, and if I could only have 2 lenses with me today, then I'd have a 70-200 and either a 100-400 or similar. Canon have an RF 100-500 for example, and this is ideal. It gives you very versatile shooting options. Choosing telephoto zoom lenses allows you to capture a range of focal lengths, zooming in close on venues where you can't get as close, but also the chance to shoot the wider scene. Speaking of which, don't rule out wide-angle lenses where you can really capture the greater, wider scene and the atmosphere, including some of the crowd. So the next tip is to shoot in RAW. RAW files retain so much more detail than JPEGs. I shoot in both so that I can quickly preview files or send them over to my phone for a quick share, but for editing or saving an otherwise unusable image, it's got to be RAW. Sports photography is fast-paced and you might be in difficult or changeable lighting conditions. It's amazing how much you can pull back with the raw data. You've got the ability to alter exposure, white balance, and much, much more. You will need bigger memory cards and a bit more computer processing power, but it is totally worth it. So we're halfway through my 10 top tips for sports photography. If you're loving the video so far, please hit the like button so that YouTube will show this to other people who might like it too, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this as well. So the next tip is composition. Consider the composition of your shots. That includes considering where the subject is placed, and this might mean rethinking where you are taking the shot from. Consider leading lines, like where roads are leading to or from in the background, and think about the amount of foreground and whether that adds to your image or whether it detracts from the athlete. And keep an eye on what's going on in the background. Is there going to be a lamppost sticking out of their head or an ugly road sign that detracts from the overall image? Composition ties in quite nicely with perspective, which is the next tip. Don't be afraid to experiment, even if you look a bit odd. Sometimes getting down to a low angle will completely change the scene. There's times where you need a straight horizon, and there's others where shooting on an obvious angle will add drama to an otherwise boring shot. The next tip is subject. Think about your subject. Sports photography isn't just photos of sport, it's capturing achievements, wins, losses, pain and emotions. This can be both in the athletes themselves as well as the spectators. Last time I shot at Ironman, I wanted to be at the top of a hill so I could capture the pain faces of the riders making their way up it. What's actually quite funny is that a lot of them actually gave me a really massive grin and a wave because they spotted the camera, but either way, I was in a perfect place to capture the emotions they were going through at the time.
Are we always on hills, photographers?
Because we want to see the pain faces! The next tip is to think ahead. Try to anticipate what's coming up so that you don't miss a moment. Is the end in sight? Is there going to be a surge of energy or an overtake? Is there a key moment coming up? Knowing the ins and outs of the sport that you're shooting is going to really help here, and it will help you to anticipate the key bits of action. So that's the top 10 tips, but for a bonus tip, practice. Practice makes perfect, and the more you try, the better your sports photography will become. Look to others for inspiration and use this to refine your own skills and keep building on what you've learned. And that's it, our top 10 tips plus a bonus for sports photography. Will you go out and put these to the test? Do you want any tips for different types of photography? Have I missed any, or have you got any tips that have helped you to create great sports pictures? Please let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back with more videos and camera reviews very soon.